My name is Paul Meier. You know, I've been interested in accents and dialects my entire life, and recently I have thought, wouldn't it be interesting to have all of those accents collected into one book for the general audience on how to speak them? This documentary displays the making of this book. For my first accent, I will visit New Delhi, India, and copy down the Indian accent. For my second accent, I have decided to pick apart the illustrious French. I'm going to meet up with an old friend in Paris. Come on, Alex. Alex and I have an interesting past.
We used to be lovers. For 6 months, we butted out each other's croissants day in and day out. Near the end of our affair, he decided he needed to move to England to pursue his dream of mastering the accents.
It was nothing serious.
We were in love. I've harbored this hate for him ever since, but now, seeing his face, I'm not so sure I can contain myself. What do you want, Paul? Are you here to make passionate love for 6 months and then leave me here all alone again?
Oh, no, I'm actually creating a book on accents and I need your help with French.
Here is Paul crawling on his knees like a salted slug back to me. I knew you couldn't resist.
Oh, no, actually, I'm just creating a book.
Your resistance is worse than the French rebels in 1832.
What?
The French rebels in Les Miserables.
Oh, yes? Now, what I need you to do is to read this short selection.
Do you want some wine, Paul?
Oh, no, really, I'd rather get this over with.
Why Zinfandel, your favorite?
I do enjoy a little Zin every once in a while. Thank you.
So you need me to read this? Homer gets a cure. Well, here's a little story for you. Paul Meier is a sexy little baguette who had been working harder than a snail on escargot.
No, that's not what it says.
He worked very hard to write the book, so he had to visit his lover in Paris. They reconnected and played several games of lakes in the air. Une partie du chambre Meier.
Well, I can tell that this isn't going to work. Oh dear, that's all of that. Do you mind if I crash here for the night? On the couch. When I left early the next morning, I found a voice recording of Alex reading the story along with a few unsavory pictures on my phone. Nonetheless, our conquest of France was complete, and we could move down under to Australia.
Welcome to the Outback, Paul. I'm surprised you managed to make it in this far from the city. It gets a little dicey on those roads out there.
My journey was fine.
It's good to hear. So now what's the protocol here? We just have a little chat and you record me, or I just start listing off all the things here that can kill a man?
No, you'll actually just be reading this selection.
Oh. Come and gets a cure. Cure from what? Nasty viper bite? Or a dingo chasing him? Maybe spiders in his bed? I'm just kidding with you. I've only had to deal with 2 of those things. Alright. Right, let's get to reading. Now here's a story for you. Sarah Perry. Oh, you know, that was the name of my high school girlfriend. It was a really good relationship, even for a high school one. I mean, we were both in the closet, so that was hard, but it was still really nice. I mean, in the end, she couldn't handle the pressure from a family, though, and she married a drover's son. Well, I suppose he's a drover now, too. Got all the cattle when his father retired. You know, they have a baby now. She named her after me. Baby Margaret. I still visit her all the time. When her husband's out on a long drove, I'll go over to help, and you know, it feels like a family. Nothing happens. I mean, she's married. But makes me wonder, you know, wonder if there's something still there, because I think we could have been really happy. Because when we're together now, we are really happy, you know?
Yes. Shall we continue?
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to get so off track. You know, you're a really good listener.
Yes. Shall we continue?
Oh, sure. Come and get secure! Here's a story for you. Sarah Perry was a veterinary nurse.
With Margaret's help, I have now captured the vocal tendencies of the outback. For my next accent, I'll be visiting Merle and Darrell in the south of the United States. Please read the following selection.
Please read the monologue.
Oh, no, you can just start with the monologue underneath.
Please read.
No, Merle, you idiot. You start from there.
You know what, Daryl? Stop being a smart ass.
Screw you, Merle, you snake in the head.
Well, screw you too, you egg-sucking dog. Get down, damn it.
Ain't my fault Mama raised the chicken shit.
You take that back, Daryl.
What are you gonna
You
do?
better give your life to Jesus, because your ass is mine.
Try and stop me. I'll knock you so hard you'll see tomorrow.
Gentlemen, shall we continue?
Sorry about that, city slicker. If Merle's brains were dynamite, he couldn't blow his nose.
Well, that's fine. Darrell, you can just read your selection first, and we can put his off until later. But it does seem that you've destroyed my only copy of Comma Get Secure. So, please, read this selection.
Potter. The bare name boils my blood. Potter, the new celebrity. Potter, Lily and James' son. Harry Potter. He's just like his father. If he had known his father, he would have understood why we say it all the time to him. He would have also better understand the hatred I have for him. When I see him, it's his father that I see. His defiance. And his arrogance. And Harry looks at me in class, defiance in his eyes. Well, I see her eyes. Those green eyes staring back at me. It's unnerving to have her eyes staring at me from James' face. It amazes me how much both of them are in Harry.
You suck, Daryl.
Shut up, Merle, I'm trying to read. I ran away, tears streaming down my face. And asked myself, why did everything go wrong? Why did fate have to play in her hand? It was that day I realized I could never have the girl of my dreams. I was bitter and angry. nothing would be right again.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Daryl.
Is it my turn now?
Of course it is, Merle. Who else's turn would it be? I swear there's a tree stump in Louisiana with a higher IQ.
Gentlemen, can we move on? Mel, if you would like, you can read this selection.
Harry, I'd almost forgotten you were here, standing on the bones of my father. Yeah, I'd introduce you, but word has it you're almost as famous as me now these days. The boy who lived, how lies have fed your legend, Harry. Shall I reveal what happened that night 13 years ago? Shall I divulge how I truly lost my powers? It was love. You see, when dear sweet Lily Potter gave her life for her only son, she provided the ultimate protection. I could not touch him. It was old magic, something I should have foreseen. But no matter, things have changed. I can touch you now.
What is the matter, Merle?
I'm going to be right real honest with you, Paul. I don't get it.
For what part don't you get?
The touching part. Why couldn't he touch him?
Merle, if your brains were leather, you're going to saddle a June bug.
You know what, Daryl? I could touch you now. You know what, Daryl? Remember when we used to have them nice recliners, but someone had to get drunk and break them?
Don't you bring that up again.
I told you to stop drinking the moonshine, but you just told me to fuck off.
Just like that time you broke our heater?
Oh, that's
I froze
different.
my knives off that
That's
night.
different, and you know it.
Tucker froze that night. I can still see his paws.
I would spend the rest of the next 3 years traveling the world and collecting accents. However, since my cameraman perished sometime after visiting Merle and Daryl, I was unable to film the rest of these accents. But it all culminated in tonight, the book release. I invited everyone who had helped me write the book, but only a few showed up.
Will you just let me through?
Bit of that.
Thank you so much for coming to the book reveal for the book that you all helped me to produce. I am so incredibly thankful to have you here, as this entire process would not have been successful without you all. However, I must confess that I've been living a lie. As you can all hear, I have been speaking in the received pronunciation for the entire time that you've known me. However, I can no longer continue this lie. The following is my real voice. My entire life, I have hidden my Welsh accent. My hometown was Laludno, a tiny resort town at the edge of society. My mother and I lived there, at the edge and the outlying districts of the city. I remember working the Marine Drive pier, selling speckled bread to British tourists who would pay me extra to hear my horrendous accent and laugh and laugh and laugh. They would tip me extra to sing old British standards. They would pay gratuity to me to hear me recite Shakespeare. I never said no. I needed the money. My mother and I, we needed the money. Eventually, the large sum of money from the gawking buyers of speckled bread was enough to fund an education. I attended school regularly, falling in love with my foreign language and English classes. I felt that in those classes that my accent was not as horrendous as I once thought, but still my voice had not changed. I was constantly bullied by my peers. I was afraid to speak in class. I was afraid to speak at all. Nevertheless, I attended all my classes and ended up with good marks and was able to go to the University of Kent at Canterbury. But I knew if I wanted to be someone that I would have to change my voice. If I would be a connoisseur of accent and dialect, it would be Hippocratic to speak so harsh and brash. For 3 months before my college experience, I worked day and night to eliminate my speech, tone, and vernacular. I was successful. But for what? To sound more intelligent? To be no hypocrite? After college, I returned home and my mother barely recognized me. She said it was not only my speech that changed, but my demeanor as well. She said she could no longer recognize the little boy that she once knew. I have not seen her since then. I have lived this life for too long. For what? To sound intelligent, to be no hypocrite? I stand before you today to encourage you to never change your way of speaking. It is what makes you special. I forsake my decision to change my accent, but I implore you to embrace your way of speaking. Never think you have to change for anyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Paul Meier.